Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well and having a great Friday night. In tonight's forecast update, we're going to be talking about the overall weather pattern we could expect across the continental United States for the next couple of weeks. And then we'll be also just looking at what maybe what systems we could see move into the continental United States, specifically kind of late into next week and then into next weekend. But that'll be the main topic for this video. I will have timestamps up if you want to go to any section of the video. If y'all want to see just a certain portion, feel free to go to that timestamp in the video. But we'll go ahead and get started with the update. First, we will be starting out with the 18Z European weather model here. And so if we just really put it to about right now, over portions of the north central US into the Great Lakes region, you just have some kind of maybe some flurries and just some kind of energy associated with some snow kind of moving down into these areas. And so again, you could see some flurries kind of in tonight and then into tomorrow as well. And then if we continue this on here, again, kind of more energy up here into the Great Lakes. And then we have another piece of energy out here to the west. We'll have to watch that as well for just a little bit of snow out to the Rockies as well. And then actually kind of into tomorrow morning, we'll finally actually get some rain, and that'll be associated, the snow will be associated with this little trough out here in the southwest, and we'll finally get some rain here into portions of Southern California. So that'll definitely be beneficial with it being so dry in those areas for sure. But if we continue this forward again on the 18Z European weather model, still you could see a couple of days of rain out here to the southwest, and then finally maybe by late this weekend into early on Monday you could see some rain maybe moving into the deep south right there. And then still continuing this on here, you could still have a little bit of rain associated with that, just a little bit of energy down here into the southern jet, and that will continue on again, and possibly you could see some snow showers up here into the northeast maybe early next week. We'll have to watch this a little bit because you'll have some northern stream energy moving down, and as you can see there's a low pressure into Canada. We'll have to watch that a little bit there for maybe a kind of a clipper system into the northeast, especially as you get into the portion kind of midweek portion of next week, and then that would finally move on out potentially late next week. And then we could also maybe have another system way down here into the southern US, and that'll be something we'll be talking about in just a second. But really that'll be about what we could expect over the next, I would say, week. And you could just have some shots of maybe light snow into much of the northeast and into the north central US, out into the Midwest as well. Not a whole lot of snow, but just some energy diving down over the next really several days, and you still could see some snow as well. And then out here again into the southwest, we'll finally start to see rain and snow moving in, snow more into these areas here into the Rockies, but we'll finally see some rain into Southern California, into the southwest as well. And again, you'll have snow associated with that into the higher elevations as well. So that'll be about it as we get into the middle and latter half of next week. And then now we'll look at the 12Z European weather model here. And so this goes out a little bit farther than the 18Z run, and that's why we couldn't look at the 18Z run, just because this system did not show up here. But this will be the other system we'll have to watch, maybe for a winter weather event, I should say, across the central or midwestern part of the United States. And this system could also lead to severe weather, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But this is what the latest 12Z European weather model shows, and again, this is going to change a lot over the next couple of days, and as we even get to next week, this will change just because this is the operational weather model. the operational European weather model, that is. And we can't really get into the fine details on this, but this just gives us a general overview of what this model is showing right now. And we're kind of, this is kind of going to be a tricky system, just because it's going to be a very potent system, but it's actually going to be negatively tilted here, as shown on the European weather model, and the GFS I think shows that as well. And yeah, it kind of does there, shows a negative tilt to that. So again, that could definitely lead to more of a moisture return down here into the southern US. So that'll be something we'll have to watch as well. But I'll go ahead and go on to the 18Z GFS here, and this is what it shows. Moves that on out late, not this weekend, but late next weekend, and then we could see some maybe other troughs and energy movement after that. But again, just really quick, going back to the 12Z European, I'll play that all the way out just because I didn't right there. But it also shows the system behind that, but again, that's just so far out we can't really pinpoint that right now. But the signal is definitely there for a system potentially late next week. And I do think this could potentially lead to some severe weather over maybe the deep south or even south central US. But I also think we'll have some winter weather associated with this as well, especially into the areas that'll have below average or even just cold air in general into the north central US. And to get a little bit of a better view for the system, we can look at our 500 millibar high anomalies, and this is about into the mid levels of the atmosphere, and this helps us see areas of ridging and troughing. And ridging is represented in red, and troughing is represented in blue, I should say. But if we go on the 12Z EPS ensemble, you can see this trough way out here into the southwest, and this is going to be our signal that's been showing up for quite some time actually. And this is going to be, again, the system we'll have to watch potentially late next week into next weekend. But I think by I would say late, maybe Friday into Saturday is when we're going to have to start watching for maybe some impacts. But don't take that for sure as that's going to happen. That's just what I think as of right now. But this could definitely switch and change to a later period or earlier period for sure. But the general consensus is that we're going to probably see this towards the latter part of next week into next weekend. But there's, again, that signal there. And if we go back a little bit, you can see this is changed just a little bit. I mean, it looks like it's gotten stronger over the past couple of EPS ensemble runs, and it's trended probably a little bit farther to the south, but it has kind of remained generally the same. And if you look at the the GEFS ensembles here, shows the same thing. You had that troughing there that would move up into the north central US, and then we can maybe see some ridging build potentially into the eastern US. But you are going to definitely have ridging around this system, this trough, as it moves in. So it's going to take more of a northern route. So again, I think these areas into the Midwest, north central US could definitely see maybe something, I would say, winter weather wise, and the deep south could potentially see some sort of maybe severe weather threat. If we go to we'll go to the European as well, go to the 12Z run here, and we'll go to our dew points. And if we go to when the system moves in, we go to Thursday, then Friday. I mean, you don't have a extremely strong moisture return here on the European weather model, but again, there are some dew points into the upper 50s, lower 60s, especially into Louisiana as well. And if we go to the GFS, this probably shows a little bit stronger. Go to the 18Z here, go all the way out here, shows it just a little bit there, about the same as the European. And I do think this could maybe trend towards being more of a stronger moisture return, just because the system is going to be quite strong by the time it finally starts to kind of eject because it's just going to be basically stalled out across the southwestern US. But that's just mainly the things we're going to have to watch, and nothing set in stone right now, but I do think areas into, again, the Midwest, North Central US, even farther to the east, I would say even into the Ohio Valley, maybe needs to watch out for some sort of winter weather potential, and maybe areas into the deep south just need to be aware of maybe a potential severe weather threats later next week or into next weekend. But again, I'm not too certain on a severe weather threat, but I think we could trend towards more of a stronger moisture return into some of those areas. But that'll be about it for the weather models for tonight. So that'll be it for tonight's update. I appreciate all y'all watching. And I know this is a pretty short update compared to my normal videos, but I'm going to try to keep them shorter. I know I probably didn't have as much information as I usually do. But again, I'm going to try to shorten everything down a little bit more and condense it, so I'm not like rambling on the entire time. But again, I do appreciate all of y'all watching. And I appreciate anybody who is new to my channel or returning viewers. I appreciate y'all a lot. It means a lot to me. But I may try to have a video out sometime again this weekend, but if not, I'll have one out next week for sure. But I appreciate y'all again, and I hope y'all have a great Friday night and a great Saturday.